Hi guys. I hope you don't mind that Stumpy joins us today. He was a bad boy yesterday and I can't trust him and leave him by himself. While I was teaching you guys, he peed in the house. And then later on during the day, he threw up and he got it on my wall and my curtain and the leg part of my dining room table. And then, as I am washing his bed, he decides to climb on top of the posters that I make for you guys for these videos, and he wrinkled them. So, little guy did not have a good day yesterday. So instead, I put a blanket on the couch and I sat him there, and hopefully he stays put. So just don't mind him. We're ignoring him right now, okay? Alright, so today we're doing 14-10, and I'm not going to tell you what it's about yet, because I want to show you something first and then ask you a question about it, okay? So go ahead and look at this poster right here, or this board, not a poster, and read all the words, okay? All the colorful ones up here. Okay, so if you're having trouble reading it, minute, second, hour, day, week, month, year, leap year, century, and millennium. Yeah. What do all of those words have in common? And if you can't think about it or you need a hint, let's think. What are things that we have been working on in topic 14? Give you another hint. Customary, metric. Okay, so by now you should have thought of measurement, right? We've been working with measurements. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Cespi, that's time, not measurement. I can't measure that with a ruler or a yardstick or anything like that, or a weight. No, you can't, but this is how we measure time. Measure time? Like, what do you mean? Like, get a ruler and measure it? No. So, if I told Jaden to run around the grass and I timed him, when he finishes and I say, oh, Jaden, okay, it took you 1 minute and 30 seconds to run around the grass, I'm measuring how long it took him to run. Okay, so all of these words have to do with measuring time. Okay, so remember these words, because on the next board that I'm going to show you, it's all of these words and most of them are abbreviated. Okay, that means that the shorter version of the word is written down instead of the entire word. Okay, got it? Okay. Now, here we have the board that's units of time. Okay, now, I don't care if you do it now, I don't care if you do it at the end of the video. At some point in this video, I need you to pause and copy this down. Because once again, for your work, you're going to need this information. And more importantly, you're going to need this information for your test. So write it down. I'll bring it closer to us so that way you can see it better. Okay. So 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Okay, see MINSEC. Okay, that's the abbreviation. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. 1 day equals 24 hours. 1 week equals 7 days. 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. 1 year is also equal to 12 months, and 1 year is also equal to 365 days. So the year, I gave it to you in weeks, I gave it to you in months, and I gave it to you in days. Okay, so these, the orange ones, are going to be the most common ones that you use. Okay, and then maybe on your test or your quick check, you might get one of these funky ones. Okay, now I call them funky because it's rare that we use these. We usually use these, but you guys have seen this one, okay? Decade. That was one of our vocabulary words. I know you guys have heard of century. I know you guys have heard of millennium, but it's not very common that we see them, okay? So let's start with the pink ones. 1 month is about 4 weeks. And the reason it says about is because not every month has exactly 4 weeks. A week is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so not every month has exactly 4 7-day weeks. So that's why it says about. Now, 1 leap year equals 366 days. So a leap year is a year that has 1 extra day, and it always falls in February. For example, this year, 2020, is a leap year, okay? So February only has 28 days. But when it's a leap year, it has 29 days. So instead of our year having 365 days, on a leap year, it has 366 days. And then we have 1 decade is equal to 10 years. Then 1C, that stands for 1 century, is equal to 100 years. And then 1 millennium, millennium is M, is equal to 1,000 years. Okay? So hopefully you've copied this down. If not, you'll do it at the end of the video, right? Yes? Okay. Now, I'm gonna hold on to this right here because we're gonna do some problems, okay? And once again, it's the same way you convert the customary system, and it's the same way you convert the metric system. You follow the same rules. Big to small, you multiply, okay? And then small to big, you divide, right? Yes, I know you guys all had the right answer. Okay, so start with this one. Okay, so there's a few different ways. So this one, I have 2 problems. Problem number 1, problem number 2. What does that circle in the middle mean? That circle's probably asking you to compare them, right? So we're going to need to use the less than, greater than, or equal to symbols, right? Okay, so let's get started. So here I'm comparing 9 months to 27 weeks. So 9 months to 27 weeks. So I'm just going to switch my 9 months to weeks because they have to be the same unit. Okay, I can't compare 9 months to 27 weeks. Okay, I have to change either my weeks to months or my months to weeks. They have to be the same unit. They can't be different units. So I'm going to decide to change my month to weeks. Okay, so let's think. A month is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's a month. So that's 1 month right there. Now I want to change it to weeks. A week is less than a month. So a month is big and a week is small. Am I going from big to small or small to big? Going from big to small, right? So that means I'm going to multiply. Where'd my marker? Oh, there it is. so I'm going to write my x. So 9 months, so I'm going from month. 1 month is equal to 4 weeks, right? Or about 4 weeks. So what do you think I'm going to do with this number and this number? Going to multiply, right? So 9 times 4 is equal to 36 weeks. Okay, so now I can compare. Now that my 9 months is in weeks, I can compare 36 weeks to 27 weeks. Which one's bigger? This side or this side? This side, right? So I know that my Pac-Man always wants to eat the bigger amount. So there's my Pac-Man. It's going to eat the 36. Okay, let's go down here. I have 40 hours and I want to compare it to days. Which one's bigger? Okay, so you can go either way. You can't compare them right now because one is hours and one is days. So you can either change your hours to days or your days to hours. So let's see. I am going to pick days to hours. Okay? Now, a day is this small, and an hour is even smaller. Okay, so from day to hour. So I'm going from big to small. So I'm going to multiply. So let's see. How many hours are in a day? Do you see it over here on this side? One day has 24 hours. Right? So one day is equal to 24 hours. So what am I going to do with this and this? I'm going to multiply, right? So 24 times 2, oopsie. 4 times 2 is 8, and then 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 days is equal to 48 hours. So now I'm going to compare 48 hours versus 40 hours. Which one's bigger? This one, right? So my Pac-Man is going to want to eat the 48 hours. Okay. Now, next one. Now we're not going to compare. Now it's actually telling us. It wants to take days, and it wants us to turn it into hours. And it wants us to take weeks, and it wants us to turn it into years. Now once again, we have our big to small and small to big. Let's do number 3. It wants me to take days and turn them into hours. So days, hours. Days, hours. Going from big to small. So that means we're going to multiply. Okay. And I know that one day has 24 hours. Because I just did a problem that converted these two, okay? But if you don't remember, get your friend, okay? One day is equal to 24 hours. So what am I going to do with this number right here and this number right here? I'm going to multiply, right? So 24 times 6. 24 times 6. Okay, so 6 times 4 is 24. So I put the 4 down here and I carry the 2. And then 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. So that's 144 hours. So 6 days is equal to 144 hours. Okay, now we're going from week to year. So this is a week. This is a year. Okay, so we're going from small to big. Small to big means divide. So I know that this one's going to be division. So I know that in 1 year, there are 52 weeks, right? In 1 year, there are 52 weeks. So 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. So what are you going to do with this number, 104, and this number, 52? You're going to divide it, right? Now I know what you're thinking. Miss SB, we haven't learned how to divide with 2-digit numbers. That's fine. Here's a way around it. Let me erase this. Okay, so if you have a parent or somebody in your house that can show you how to do, what is it? 100. Sorry. If you have somebody in your house that can teach you how to do this, go ahead. Okay. But if not, here's another way to do it. So 1 year. Oopsie, sorry, I keep messing up. 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. Okay. So what can I do from here? I can take another year and write 52. So now I have 2 years. 1 year, 1 year. That's 2 years. I can add these two. So 52 plus 52, so 2 plus 2 is 4. And then 5 plus 5 is 10. Oh, look. What did I just get? 104, right? Isn't that the number that I was working with? So if I want to go from weeks to years, what was my answer that I found out here? I wanted to know how many weeks, so 104 weeks, I wanted to find out how many years are in that. I just figured it out. 2 years. Okay. So 2 years. Okay. And now, a word problem. Okay, so here's your word problem. Now, I'll try to read it backwards. On her birthday, Carla calculated that she was 108 months old. Let me get another color. Hold on. Okay. So, on her birthday, Carla calculated that she was 108 months old. Jordan has the same birthday. If Jordan turned 8 years old, who is older, Carla or Jordan? So the question is asking me who is older, okay? So you can go ahead and read that on your own if you want. Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is what 2 units does this problem want us to compare? Okay. So by now you should have said months and years, right? Those are the 2 different units that it wants us to compare. So down here I'm going to write 108 months, and it wants us to compare it because it's asking us who is older. So it's a comparison problem, a comparing problem, okay? So we're comparing that to 8 years. Okay. Now, can I compare them right now the way they are? Months and years? No, right? Because I need to convert. Remember, convert means to change. So I can pick, do I want to go from year to month, or do I want to convert it from month to year? I personally like going from big to small because I get to multiply. I like multiplying. So think, which one's the bigger one and which one's the smaller one? Year is the bigger one and month is the smaller one. So I'm going to go from big to small. So I want to figure out how many months are in 8 years. So I need my conversion chart, your best friend. I know that in 1 year, there are 12 months. Okay, see that one right here? 1 year, 12 months. So 1 year is equal to 12 months. See that? Okay, so what do you think I'm going to do with this one and this one? Okay, not this one. Okay, we're not using this one right now because this is already in months. I need to leave it. I need to convert this 8 years to months. So I'm going to multiply this 8 and this 12. So if you know your 12s, great, you know it already. But for those who don't, 12 times 8. So 2 times 8 is 16. You carry the 1. And then 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 more is 9. So now I have 108 months versus 96 months. Which one is bigger? 108 months or 96 months? 108 months, right? So right away I'm going to make my Pac-Man eat my 108 months. But I'm not done, okay? I know a lot of you guys think, oh, we're done, we figured it out, this one's bigger. Go back and look at what the question was asking you. This is a mistake that many of you guys make. The question wasn't asking which one is bigger. The question was asking who is older. So remember, Jordan is 8 years old, and then Carla is 108 months. So we know that Jordan turned into 96 months, and Carla remained 108 months. So in order to completely answer this problem, you have to say Carla is older. Okay? So that's it. So reminder, make sure you go and copy that conversion chart because you're going to need it for your work later. All right? Bye. Not you, Stumpy.